Hello, Grand Strand. Welcome back to Talking About Food. This is Richard Florzak, private chef to the stars. Remember, this is the only, I repeat, only food commentary show on the Grand Strand. We talk about restaurants, food trucks, festivals, farmers markets. We interview local chefs and local restaurant owners. From time to time, I interview some of my celebrity friends, but whether celebrity or not, the topic will always be food because nothing brings people together like great food. Speaking of great food, I've got two great ladies in the studio today. I can't wait to talk to them about their restaurant. It's called Sweet Girlz. And when you are constantly on a low carbohydrate diet like I am, this is like evil in the studio. So I say that in jest. They are Vicky and Carrie Alvaro, owners of Sweet Girlz Bakery and Cafe. Ladies, welcome to Talking About Food.
Thank you, Richard. Thanks for having us.
I'm so glad that you're here. So as I understand, Vicky, you and your wife both had businesses up north. Can you tell us about them? Or either one of you can.
Yeah, so I had a landscape company for 30 years. I worked for Prudential for 18 of those 30 years. So I started my landscape company, and I met Carrie probably
2016.
2016, so many years into my landscaping company. And by then, I was trying to get out of it because I'd had enough. And then Carrie had her own established business up in Easton, Sweet Girlz Bakery up there. And she had that, 11 years by the time, 10 years by the time I met you.
Yeah, 10.
10, so you had your Sweet Girlz Bakery.
Yeah, so we have a bakery in PA.
In PA. What part of PA?
Easton, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Home of the Crayola crayon.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's correct.
I was born and raised in New Jersey, about, 35 minutes from Easton, and I never knew that.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. All I knew it for was the famous boxer who I can't
Larry
remember.
Holmes.
Holmes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Carrie did his cake.
Yeah, we do his birthday cakes.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how cool is that? Vicky has a successful lawn care business, and Carrie, you have Sweet Girlz Bakery. How did you end up in Myrtle Beach?
So we used to travel down here together, and when we would come down on vacation, we just fell in love with it. We fell in love with the feel, with the community, with
The weather.
the weather. Obviously, everybody loves the weather.
Yeah.
And so when Vicky sold her landscape company, and after COVID hit, our bakery expanded, and we just realized that there's no better time than the present to do what we really wanted to do, and that was Vicky wanted to retire, and we had a great staff at the bakery, so we could move down here and just manage it from afar.
And trust them, too. You said during or after COVID, your business expanded?
Yeah, so during COVID, we actually expanded. We took over another 800 square feet of our first floor of the building that we're in. So we were originally 800 square feet, and we expanded into the back 800 square feet.
I don't think I've ever heard a story like that before.
Yeah.
During either people went out of business, or like I had to do, I had to scale back. That's really amazing.
Yeah, we were very blessed. We didn't qualify for loans because we had increased our sales by 25% or more during that time.
Yeah, they call that a Cadillac problem.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
Now, Vicky, were you interested in bakery, pastry?
other than eating it, no, not at all. That was not my thing. I would go up and help, but I didn't want any kind of business like
We
that.
all called her HR. She
Yeah.
was HR. That was it.
HR.
Yeah. All right. So you moved down here. Did you move before you found the location, or did you come down here and both say, it seems like you were both on board with this, the weather, the people, the area, everything else. So how did it work after that?
Well, I was constantly looking online for a house. I happened to find a house. I was up like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, and a house had just hit the market.
Yeah.
And we had looked at it, we talked about it, and we ended up buying it sight unseen.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say that you both were down here enough times that when you saw that house, you kind of knew the area and you said, yeah, it's a good deal?
We definitely knew we wanted to be in North Myrtle. We really wanted to open something up on Main Street because where we used to stay at our Wyndham properties off of Main Street in North Myrtle, that was like the little walkable area that has all the bars, the restaurants, the nice little shops, boutiques. So that was like where we really, really wanted to be.
Yeah.
So we knew North Myrtle was going to be home. We just didn't know exactly where.
Wow. I love when stuff comes together like that. Okay. So you came down here and then opened the business?
Yep. Then we found a location, but we actually had an ice cream shop first.
Ah.
So we opened up Sweet Girlz Creamery on Shore Drive off of Lake Arrowhead Road. So that was our first business venture down here.
Yeah.
So that's what we did first. And we had that about 2 years. And then we decided to sell that. And I always wanted to have a breakfast lunch place. I enjoy cooking, so that was my thing. I wanted a breakfast
hold on
lunch
a
place.
second. This is so interesting. So in the beginning, you wanted nothing
Absolutely
to do
nothing.
with a bakery, right? I mean, when I'm asking this question before, it's like I'm wondering how this is going to come together. But you enjoy the more savory part, the actual cooking of breakfast food.
Yes, breakfast and lunch.
Breakfast and lunch. So how do you find this adorable place that you have now?
So we were looking for, I would say like 2 months. We were still open at our ice cream shop while we were searching for the location. And we found this location. We spoke to the landlord and he was not on board at first because it was office space at first. And so he had already put a lot of work into it to keep it office space.
Right.
But his property manager, I think it was.
His secretary, yeah, she loved us.
She loved us. She's like, please just rent it to the girls. Just rent it. So he was like, I'm gonna trust her and I'm gonna rent it to you. So we did the build out.
You did. That was going to be my next question.
Yeah. So we did the build out on that, and it took I think 3 or 4 months, and then we ended up opening. So we completely flipped the place.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you mind if I ask you, if you're not comfortable with this? No problem. How much did the build out cost?
Almost $150,000.
Yeah. Well, I was going to guess right at that. Yeah. All right. So that's what it cost you. Did the landlord give you some free rent?
He did. I mean, the landlord, we left our old location, our creamery. We had great hours there. I mean, it was 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. We worked 4 or 5 months out of the year.
Yeah.
We had our winters off. We would go to our family home in Florida for the winter.
Wow.
And we gave all that up because we just could not get along with him. He was just a very hard person to get along with.
The landlord at the ice cream place wasn't conducive to our.
So did you incorporate the... he's lucky you didn't know me then. Anyway, did you incorporate the creamery into the Sweet Girlz now? You just cut it loose?
No, we cut it loose. But yes, to answer your question, the current landlord could not have been more accommodating with us. He gave us some extra time to do some build out with it. He gave us some credit toward the upfits that we did to the building. You know, we put a nice, almost $40,000-$50,000 hood system in. So I created a kind of proposal for him over the next 5 years of what, rent would look like, how much he could take off, and how he would split the cost with me. He was fine with it. He really was. I mean, I can't say a bad thing about him. He really is very accommodating.
Yeah, very accommodating. You don't hear about that often, as you just explained about the creamery. How long have you been open now?
So our cafe, we've been open going on 1.5 years, almost 2.
And it's going well.
It's going really well.
Yeah. God, I love to hear that. That is so good.
And then we decided to open up another business.
Oh,
in the middle of all that.
Yeah, because
we're just serial entrepreneurs. We just love to do this.
Because the stress level wasn't high enough.
And by we, I mean her.
Yeah.
I'm go along for the ride.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's been a nice ride.
I mean, we do really well together. We work very well together. Obviously, we have to.
Which I want to get into in a minute. What was the other business?
Southern Smoothies on Main Street in North Myrtle Beach.
What makes it Southern?
It was just the name. We took
just the name. Yeah. No, it's a cute name.
We took it over from a previous owner. It was a smoothie shop, acai bowls. We added ice cream. It was just a little stint that we did for a couple months, and we decided
we had that for 3 months?
3 months.
Yeah.
And we flipped
And we
it.
broke the golden rule. Don't get into business with friends.
Oh, yeah.
So that's okay. It's done and over.
Yeah.
And we sold it to the gentleman who bought our ice cream shop. So
it was all meant to be.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, so him and his wife run both locations. It's great.
Boy, you talk about serendipitous.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah, we love it.
Man, I'm going to hang out with you ladies.
I mean, we're available.
I'm going to be picking your brain, I'm telling you. Do either one of you have any formal training in the culinary arts?
Zero.
Zero.
I like this even more. I mean, I say all the time, I'm a big proponent of the Ori Georgetown Technical College International Culinary Academy. I think it's fabulous. But I'm also just as impressed, if not more, of people that start successful food businesses without any training. So, Carrie, you have this love of baking, right? How did that all come about?
So I used to work for municipal government in Pennsylvania. I lost my job on my 30th birthday, a citywide budget cut. 52 of us lost our jobs that day. And I had to reinvent myself and figure out what I wanted to be again when I grew up. So I was unemployed and unemployable as well for about 9-10 months. I couldn't find a job. And I either was overqualified or underqualified. I didn't want to go back to college. I have a degree in criminal justice and psychology. And so I was making jam at home and cake pops, and people started wanting to buy it from me. So I grew up, I come from a family of entrepreneurs. So I said, well, I guess I could make some money and figure this out. And it was, once I made that decision, we ended up opening, my ex and I at the time, we opened the doors of the bakery in PA on December 20th, 2011.
Wow. So it's not like, since you were a little girl, you were helping mom in the kitchen. Nothing like that.
No, I mean, I baked a couple times, like you make the Christmas cookies and things like that. I was very blessed to have a step grandmother who taught me a lot of baking as well. And I just love to spend time with her and obviously eat the goodies. But it wasn't my little girl dream to be a baker. Just wasn't.
You may think this is a stupid question, but are you now, over the years, become passionate about it?
Yeah, I do love recipes. I love to follow a recipe. I love to try new things. We just had a customer in today who wants me to try this cake that he had, at other bakeries in years past with him and his wife when they would go travel. So I said, yeah, I love a challenge. I'm not the cook in the relationship because, when you cook, you can just throw a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I'm a teaspoon, tablespoon, level cup, packed cup.
You have to be in pastry.
Yeah.
So, and that's a good marriage for a number of reasons. Okay, Vicky. So now you said before that you're the cook. You do the breakfast and lunch food. You said before you were not interested in getting into Carrie's business, but you did, and now that's what you do. Is that something that you had to learn real quick? Were you a novice cook at home prior to that? You watched the Food Network?
No, I grew up in a single family household. My mother wasn't home a lot, so I had to learn real quick. If I wanted to eat, you got to learn how to cook. Yeah. So I was doing it at a very young age, and it was my passion. It made people happy, which I love to make people happy. So people come over to our house, and they know that they get breakfast, lunch, and dinner made for them.
That is so wonderful. I've said it 1,000 times. That's what got me involved in this business. I like making people happy through food. I just love it. So tell me how it all comes together. You decide to open up Sweet Girlz here in North Myrtle Beach. And do you have this conversation, Vicky? Do you say, I'll handle the breakfast and the lunch?
Yes, I think we both knew from the get-go that I was not interested in doing any baking whatsoever. But in a pinch, Carrie was required to fill my spot if needed.
Yeah, so I can do both parts of the shop, of the cafe. I could do front of house and back of house. Front of house is, obviously your usual front of house. But for me, I consider it my bakery side too, because when you walk in, the bakery's in the front part. But I could do back of the house too if she's not available. I can cook on a whim and throw fries in the fryer and make a cheesesteak. That's not where my passion is.
Right.
I could too, but you don't want me writing on your cake.
Yeah, I don't want her touching my cakes. If she has to make some cookies or some cupcakes quick, she's more than capable, but yeah.
Okay, speaking of cheesesteaks, I see it's on your menu. And I was really impressed because you used the 3 classic cheeses. It just blows me away when so many, and I'm not even from Philly, but if you're going to say Philly cheesesteak, don't
better know what you're
then
talking
give me different ingredients that
Right.
aren't. Is it popular that your specific Philly cheesesteak?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very popular.
Yeah.
And she's turned it into a skillet too for breakfast and an omelet for breakfast. So
Well,
it's like
yeah.
all day long.
And the one that blew me away, because I love when people take classic dishes, they use the right ingredients and they just make this little twist on it. You have a Philly quesadilla.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is just so
about that too.
unbelievable. What's the most popular lunch item?
It would have to be our cheesesteak and our Reubens.
Reuben.
Yeah, the Reuben.
Yeah. No, it's my favorite sandwich.
I mean, you get a nice pile of meat on top of there with.
It's
just melted-
massive.
yeah, it
it's
is.
huge.
yeah.
It's a
We
big
do
guy.
give a lot of food. I mean, we talk about our omelets. Our omelets are massive. Our pancakes are huge. People are shocked every time they come in and see our pancakes.
They always need a to-go box for at least one of them.
I like the sound of that.
Mm-hmm.
I went through the whole phase in Los Angeles. There was a style that came through for a while when everybody was on the low-fat nonsense stuff, and it's called California Nouveau. And in my opinion, it was ingredients you've never heard before and portions so small that when they put it in front of you, you think you were finished eating and you don't even remember it. Yeah, no, I'm a guy that likes to be able to take some food home with me.
Yeah,
so
we do
that's
plenty.
that is really cool. Do you have a favorite pizzeria?
We do.
Yeah.
I think we can both say it at the same time.
1, 2, 3. Coast.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coast Pizza.
Coast Pizza.
Coast Pizza.
Dan owns it. He's from Trenton,
Oh, wow.
and he just makes an amazing pie.
We got to get him on here.
Yeah, he's good. He's good stuff.
Okay.
And he has a full typical pizzeria. He's got chicken sandwiches and deli sandwiches and food. Like, he's got it all,
He's
too.
got everything, yeah.
But
Salad.
the pizza is good. Salad's good.
The other thing that I like that was on your menu is pork roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
We have the argument, pork roll, Taylor ham.
Yeah. No, we won't get into that argument.
that's-
Right. You know what's really strange about that is that there's actually areas of New Jersey that don't know what pork roll is. It's just so strange. It just has a side question here. I've been asked a million times by people who've never had pork roll, what's it taste like? And I can you guys explain it?
Well, I tell them that's usually, it's like a cross between a sausage and a ham.
I say it's a cured meat that is more along the lines of a ham, but it looks like a ham salami.
Salami, right. I'll often say salami, something else. I can't remember. Do you find that there's a lot of customers that come in and not only recognize the pork roll, but order it?
Yes.
They come in just for that sometimes.
That and scrapple.
And
We do
scrapple.
scrapple too.
Yeah, I saw that on the menu.
Yeah.
Explain to the listeners what scrapple is.
Well, it's the scraps of the pig. So everything that,
They didn't get put into sausage or anything else.
gets ground up and put in the scrapple.
And do you know how it gets put together?
I don't-
Because it's solid.
Yeah, it's solid. So
Yeah.
I just imagine it goes in some sort of brick machine.
It, well,
With some cornmeal.
Yeah, with some cornmeal.
That's for another show.
Yeah. But what's nice is what Vicky will do is if you come into the shop and you've never had pork roll or scrapple and she's on the grill, she'll make you a small piece so you can try
Beautiful. Oh man, I can't tell you the whole story because it would be too boring for the people that don't know what pork roll is. But my wife and I flew here on a whim to check it out. She wanted out of California for like the last 3 or 4 years, and I just didn't want to go because I'd been there for 40 years, and the first 3 decades were terrific. But I said, okay, let's check out this place I discovered called Merle's Inlet. And we managed to get a real estate agent, and he showed us 18 houses. And the one that we live in now was one of the last. And my wife and I looked at each other and we said, wow, we really like it here. And we were leaving that night. And as we pulled out of our neighborhood, there's a breakfast place across the street called Vinny's. And it says pork roll.
it. So you knew.
I know.
That was the sign.
It was sent from God.
It was.
Yeah. What is the one dish that you guys love? Doesn't have to be the same. One from each of you that you'd be embarrassed to tell people about. And I always give a disclaimer so you don't think I'm trying to embarrass you. I love hamburger helper lasagna.
Oh. So are you talking about the dish at the shop that's our favorite or in general in life?
Just in general. I had Adam Kirby, who's the executive chef owner of Bistro 217. I had him on a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't know if he was going to answer that. Everybody answers it, but he goes, cheese whiz. It just cracked me up.
Mine would have to be squeezed cheese, the cheese in the can. Crackers.
In the can?
Yeah, the canned cheese that you just squeeze out on a cracker.
Oh,
Easy
yeah.
cheese or
Yeah,
something?
it's like
Easy
under
cheese.
pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can even make little flowers
Oh,
with
yeah.
it.
Yeah. I used to decorate them for the dog too. You'd share them.
When they were bachelors.
Yeah.
Before I came along.
Is there a specific cracker you
Yeah,
need?
Triscuits. Guys to be on a Triscuit. Can't just throw it on anything.
My wife will be so happy about that. That's one of her Triscuits and canned cheese. I love it. What about Carrie?
I don't think I have anything
Yes,
that's
you do.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Embarrassing that you.
What about growing up and your mother make something?
Well, so I always liked it was like mom's homemade hamburger helper, I guess. But
Yeah.
that's not really I think growing up I would put ketchup on everything.
Oh, she still does.
And
It's
I still
disgusting.
do.
You
Ketchup
still
on
do.
chicken.
I'll put ketchup on
Grilled
chicken.
chicken.
I'll put ketchup on
No.
potato chips, pretzels,
What kind of chicken?
Anything.
any kind of chicken.
Like a rotisserie chicken?
Any kind.
Really?
Yeah.
Anything.
Wow.
Fried chicken from the wherever.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, that's her
Well,
condiment of choice.
It's my condiment of choice. And I just found ketchup flavored Doritos.
Oh, I think I saw. Did you try them?
They're delish.
Oh, wow.
I highly suggest it if you like ketchup.
Now, are either of you ladies sweet eaters? I know that may sound like a stupid question.
Nope.
No.
Mm-mm.
How do you do that?
I'm very blessed that I don't eat
I'll
it.
say.
Otherwise, it'd be 700 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is your favorite dessert at Sweet Girls?
Well, I do like to try the new cupcakes that Carrie makes.
And what are they?
So we have like over
70 flavors.
70 flavors. Yeah.
Wow.
So anytime we come up with a new flavor,
I'm the
And
taste tester.
she's a taste tester.
And what is this new one?
So the new one, I would say the newest one, we did raspberry
It was
lemonade.
raspberry lemonade.
Wow.
That was good.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, we did a dark chocolate, which you think is like something that you would normally do, but to buy dark chocolate, like dark cocoa, is expensive. But we had some, so I was like, well, let's make a
Let's
cupcake out of
try
it.
it. Yeah. Can you tell me what is the big deal all of a sudden with this Dubai chocolate?
I don't know. I never heard of it.
It is just pistachio into the chocolate, from what I'm understanding.
Oh, so you haven't had it?
I haven't had it.
Yeah.
I don't like pistachio that way.
I'm not crazy about it.
So
either.
I won't go out of my way to eat it.
Yeah.
My counterpart in PA that still owns our shop up there, she's made some.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fad. You know, people just
I'm
want to
so
get
glad
into
to
it.
hear you say that. I've been
Yeah.
doing this for so long
Yeah.
that my antenna goes up as soon as I hear about
Yeah,
stuff
absolutely.
like that. What would be, Vicky, your favorite? Forget the bakery.
hmm
What would be your favorite sweet to eat when you did eat sweets?
Ice cream cake was always my favorite.
Yeah. What flavors?
It didn't really matter as long as there was ice cream and cake with it. It was.
Yeah.
What about the crunchies in the middle of the ice
the
cream?
crunchies.
Yeah, what
are the
is that?
best. I don't know what
They're
they
like
are.
a chocolatey cookie thing.
Yeah.
They're delish.
That's what I used to explain it as. Chocolate.
I always used to request that as my cake.
And what about you, Carrie? Other than what you bake, what would be a go-to for you?
Go-to is always chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
No matter where we go, if we always, whenever we travel, we stop at a bakery, I'll always grab those. I like cheesecake too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm real basic.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
You don't have to dress up the plate or anything for me.
We were talking the other day, me and another chef, about foie gras, which I absolutely adore. But I'm okay with hamburger helper lasagna too,
Yeah.
and everything in between. Do you have favorite restaurants?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's hear yours.
Taco Mundo.
I don't know that one either.
It's in Barefoot.
Have you been to Two Taco?
No.
There's
I
one
don't
in
think so.
Myrtle, and there's one right here. They're
haven't gone there
they're
yet.
excellent. Taco Mundo. What about yours, Vicky?
Mine's Little Italy.
Oh,
You didn't give
Just thought
Elena
of-
a shout
Yeah.
out.
yeah.
Little Italy,
Little
Where are
Italy's
they?
good too.
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach, Little Italy. Tell me something about them.
Well,
What's your favorite dish there?
I mean, everything. I think we've actually really eaten every
You like the
Single thing.
chicken
Scarpiello.
Yeah.
scarpiello.
Have you tried Casa Mia? They're in Surfside. They have, it's so funny. I first thought when I used to drive by there, I used to think they were Mexican.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
these
Casa.
in Los Angeles, on every corner, there's a business that starts with Casa.
Casa.
But it turns out they're Italian,
Mm-hmm.
and they're famous for their crab cakes. And I'm
Oh.
like, what?
Yeah.
Whatever. You know, I don't care. But
Yeah.
it just took me by surprise. And their crab cakes are absolutely out of this world. But I just stumbled upon their chicken parmesan. It was incredible. Anyway, ladies, I hear you have this Pay It Forward program. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So we have a board in the shop that you can come in and customers can buy a meal for a future customer. They would purchase the meal. We put the ticket on the board. And that way, anybody that needs a meal that day, no matter their situation, can walk in, go up to the bulletin board in the hallway, grab a meal ticket off. They can either sit down and be served in the restaurant, or they come up and they can take it with them.
Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. And I love the fact that you created a way where you're not just handing money to people who typically turn it into alcohol or drugs. You're feeding them, hoping they get back on their feet. That is brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah, we have a couple folks that come in quite regularly, two homeless or semi-homeless gentlemen that come in weekly and they get fed. There was a couple months there where the one got fed for breakfast and lunch every day. So we're blessed that we had so many customers that paid it forward. So we had a lot of meals on that board.
Wow.
So we were able to take care of them. And then we just start taking care of them without even taking tickets off the board. We've had some parents who came in with kiddos and, needed food for the kids, and we make sure that they get that. And on Sundays from when we're open until 2:00 on Sundays from 1:30 on, if you need something to eat, you can come in and you can take items out of the case, the display case as well.
That's wonderful.
And the lady that thanked us, she saw us at the festival and said, "Hey, I got back on my feet. Thank you for helping me."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah, that's
She was
nice.
one of the ones that would come in. She had quite a few children and just trying to figure out how to get back on her feet. And we were able to feed the kids for her a couple times a week. And she was able to get back on her feet.
And you were responsible for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We all have to do our part.
What's next for Sweet Girlz?
Quite sure what's next. I mean, we're just riding the waves right now. And we have a great customer base down here. We have a lot of community support, doing a lot of weddings, a lot of we do custom printed logo cookies. So we're doing a lot of commercial orders. So we're just day by day.
You guys, you've created an absolute little slice of heaven where you are. That is Vicky and Carrie Alvaro. They're the owners of Sweet Girlz in North Myrtle Beach. That's 4007 Highway 17 South in North Myrtle Beach. Vicky and Carrie, you guys are absolute sweethearts. Hence, Sweet Girlz. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for
Thanks
having
for
us.
having us.
And coming up after the break, you're going to meet somebody, very interesting guy, 62 years old. He used to create and train for voice recognition. Now he goes to the Culinary Institute here in Myrtle Beach. Fascinating guy. And welcome back to Talking About Food. This is Richard Florzak, the private chef to the stars. And I'm back with a really cool guy in the studio. I love doing this so much for such a number of different reasons. The obvious one is I love talking about food. I've been in this business all my life, but what podcasting has done for me personally has just opened up this sea of different people to meet in this business. I mean, if you think about it, people say, "Oh, I'm in the food business." Right away, you think chef, right? You think restaurant owner. But we often tend to forget that these people have had lives prior to the food business. And not to mention that there's a never-ending list of different areas of the food business. I mean, we've had food truck owners, we've had fine dining executive chefs, we've had restaurant owners, and it's just been fascinating for me. And I know that the gentleman sitting in front of me right now is going to be just as fascinating. I talked to him for a couple minutes before the show started. He started telling me stuff about his background. I said, nope, don't say anymore. Let's do it on the air. His name is Don Princiotto, and he lives here in Myrtle Beach. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. And he is attending the HGTC International Culinary Academy in the baking area. Don, welcome to Talking About Food.
Glad to be here.
I started to talk to you off the air about, the normal questions, where you're from. So you were born where?
I was born just outside Boston in Massachusetts.
And then how much time did you spend there?
All the way through undergraduate school.
Yeah. What'd you study?
Computer science.
Yeah. Wow. And then what happens? I crack up because it ends with dealing with food, but we'll get to that. So go ahead. I love everybody's journey. I'm not supposed to say journey because it's...
So then I actually worked for my father for a couple of years in voice recognition. It was in its infancy back then.
Wow.
And so I used to actually travel around the country to state governments, big car manufacturers, pharmaceutical companies. They all had voice recognition systems in their facilities at the time. And I'd fix them.
Wow, that's incredible. So tell us how you got from there to the International Culinary Academy here in the Grand Strand. And take your time. This is fascinating to me.
While I was in college the first time, I went to apply to Officers Candidate School. And so what happened is originally I was declined.
Why?
So I said,
if you don't mind me asking.
I do know why, but I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
So what happened was, instead of being able to go to OCS at the designated time, I went and did voice recognition. While I was doing the voice recognition stuff, the United States Air Force got in touch with me and said, hey, there's some anomalies with your paperwork. It turned out that the person that was processing my paperwork, the recruiter at the time, had failed to submit some of the paperwork.
Oh.
And so an incomplete package is automatically declined.
Right.
They said, hey, can we fix these errors and resubmit it? I said, sure. A week later, they called me back and says, yeah, everything's fine. When do you want to go? So I went to Air Force Training School in San Antonio, Texas. And then I was commissioned in the Air Force, second lieutenant. I spent 4 years in Biloxi, Mississippi, with the Technical Training Command there. And I basically went around the country teaching computer programming.
Wow. Wow. Are you glad that they found the mistakes in your paperwork?
I would tell everybody that the military in general might not be great for everyone, but it's a great place to start for everyone.
Yeah.
And honestly, they make you aware of things you don't think you're possible of doing.
Yeah.
When they said, oh, you're going to be an instructor, I said, an instructor? I hated public speaking.
Hey, well, you became one.
Right. But the thing is, I did that basically my whole life after that. I had no problem speaking up in front of a crowd.
Right.
Because there, I teach a class of 12 people. And I think the largest one was like 800 people.
Wow.
So
that'll put the fear of God in you.
It just, But
it also, I mean, I can see the trajectory already that they taught you that basically anything's possible.
Returned to Massachusetts, went to work for a large defense contractor up there.
Now, how old are you at that point? You're how old now?
63.
63. So you were how old at that point?
26, 27.
Yeah. Would you have considered looking back at that point that you were at least like a foodie? You were interested in food?
No, I wouldn't have considered myself a foodie back then.
So if somebody said to you at that point, do you realize that in a couple of years down the road, you're going to be enrolled in a culinary school, what would you have said?
Probably not.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't want to stop you. So what happens next?
So I worked for this defense contract for a while. And then one day I got a phone call from Washington, D.C. It said, hey, someone floated your resume to us. We'd like to talk to you. So I went down to Washington, D.C., went through the whole process, and they offered me a job, and I relocated to Washington, D.C.
How long did you live there?
All total, 25 years. From Washington, D.C., I moved to Myrtle Beach.
And that was how long ago?
In 2013.
So then how do you end up at the Horry Georgetown Technical College International Culinary Academy?
Because one of the reasons we moved here to Myrtle Beach is because in Northern Virginia, where we were living, my daughter was going to go to kindergarten. The kindergarten she was scheduled to go to basically had 500 kindergartens in it.
Wow.
That's all there was there. Anyways, with average 40 kids per class, that's not education, that's chaos.
Yeah.
And so we said, okay, where can we go? We looked down here in South Carolina. Horry County does have some of the best schools in the state.
Yeah.
They're well funded.
Okay. So we're getting closer to the Culinary Institute.
But so here it comes. So
hold on. Are you still married?
Yes.
Does your wife cook?
Yeah, sometimes.
Is she good?
When she wants to be.
Yeah.
And so what happened is when we first moved down here, the Culinary Institute actually was looking into doing a beer brewing and brewing support degree program.
Yeah. That interested you.
They had initial state approval for it and all this stuff. So I went and talked to them and I said, what's going on? And they said, well, it looks like the funding got diverted.
Oh.
And so it doesn't look like it's going to happen in the near future. So I just kind of like file it away. But then when my daughter said, hey, I'm going into high school soon.
Yeah.
I said, oh, okay, fine. You're going, I'll go to school too. So, it's like.
Did you mean that at the time?
What?
That you would go to school too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you thinking about pastry at that moment?
I was thinking about, so originally I contacted the school about doing, learning to bake bread. And so when I was enrolled in the fall semester of 2022. But at the time, they actually let me come in because on Thursdays at the school, they have a farmer's market.
Yes.
At the farmer's market,
It's an excellent one.
The school makes bread. They sell bread to support student activities, and they do barbecue to support student activities. I would recommend everyone come to the school in Market Common to check out the farmer's market and buy bread.
Right.
It's really good bread. So anyways, and so basically that June, I would say May and June, before I started school, I would go in at 4:35 in the morning on Thursdays to basically make bread for sale with both other students and some of the instructors to raise money for the student groups.
Yeah.
And so I think, oh, this is cool. But then at the time, one of the assistant director of the program said, hey, if you're thinking about going into culinary, you should do culinary first because the sequence of the classes and stuff like that. I said, okay. I looked at it and I said, okay, fine. I'll do culinary first. So I switched over to culinary and I started culinary in the fall, actually August of 2022. The first 2 or 3 weeks, the hardest thing was standing up basically 12, 13 hours a day.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't used to that. I was a desk jockey in front of a computer.
Right.
What I found is it's a lot of work, but there's a lot of stuff. And the people that teach there, they love to teach you. They want you to be successful. They give you every opportunity to be successful. It's up to you to to be successful or not.
Right.
So I would take classes just straight through. So I finished the culinary program last year in 2024. And then at the end of August, I started the baking and pastry program.
Wow. Finally getting back to that bread class.
Wait. So during culinary, I did an internship at a place called the Inn at Little Washington.
It's high end.
A Michelin 3-star restaurant.
I wanted to ask you about that.
So, and there they have 2 main restaurants. I ended up working in Patios, which is directly across the street from the Michelin restaurant. Regardless, wherever you're on property, every single person has to live up to the high standards of the inn.
Right.
All the food throughout the entire complex is the exact same ingredients and food that you would get in the Michelin restaurant.
Wow.
So, I mean, everything is like super.
So you were living down here. How did you had to live away from your family for a while?
I did.
Yeah. But you did it.
I did. Yeah. 13 straight weeks.
Wow. So, I don't know, maybe this comes across as a stupid question, but did working at a restaurant as high-end as a Michelin 3 restaurant, was that an awakening for you?
In the high-end food world, or we'll say a defense contractor, we'll just say.
Right.
Attention to detail.
Yeah.
Customer service, meeting the needs of your clients and customers, it's paramount.
Yeah.
And the thing is, but one of the things at a place like the Inn at Little Washington is they've perfected the art of just hospitality. Everything is about hospitality and experience and everything. And I thought it was a great experience.
Yeah. So you thrived in that environment.
I mean, there were days it was hard, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like I said, everybody there was there because, they knew I was an intern. And there were other interns from the Culinary Institute of America.
Right.
There's one from Johnson and Wales there. Here in Myrtle Beach, it made me realize how special this place is, where the instructor to student ratio was so small.
Yeah.
And they gave you so many opportunities, both in class and outside of class, with the extracurricular activities and other events, whether it be a fundraising event or some special dinner or things like that, that you just get so much more opportunity to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the fact Chef Joe Bonaparte has been on a number of times, and it just always fascinates me. First of all, how involved he is as the director. He's the director, but he never stops giving his colleagues just as much credit as he gets, because he says they're all involved. They all want the students to do well. But what blows me away all the time is these trips that the students go on. The last time he was on, he was telling me about the trip that, a bunch of students went on to Italy, and they were like truffle hunting and stuff like that. And it all came from the student clubs, like you just said before, the fundraising and the farmers markets and that kind of thing. And it's such a absolute beautiful thing. I kind of have this theory. I wonder if you'll agree. It doesn't matter if you do or not, but I just have this feeling that what we do falls under the umbrella of hospitality. It's almost like it's either in your genes or it's not. I don't necessarily believe you can be taught hospitality.
No, I'd probably have to agree with that, because in this business, what I've found since I started this journey. Now, I will tell you, when I was in high school, I did work as a dishwasher in a steak and seafood restaurant.
Yeah.
And so I definitely knew the back of the house.
Right.
Back there. And, but I never worked out front at that restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Which is another thing. I've been to the dinners over at the Culinary Institute, that it is part of the instruction for whatever level one of the students is at. They have to wait tables for a semester.
They do have to wait tables for a semester.
That is phenomenal.
Right. and also like in the summertime, they have to do, there's a class called Farm to Table. They go out to the local farms and basically get produce, or they potentially process or help a processor process chickens and stuff like that. And all that stuff is then used that week to cook the meal for the people that coming in to Farm to Table during the summertime. In the fall, we have bistro service at the school. So you come in and you'll get basically usually an a la carte menu. And again, all the servers are typically students. And behind the scenes, there'll be anywhere from 1 to 3 employees, instructors, or staff members helping. But then they are classes, though. So all the people in the back working, and people working on the open kitchen that you can see, the vast majority of those people are active students.
Yeah.
And then in the springtime, we roll over to dinner service. And dinner service is typically a 7-course meal. Again, students in the background, people out front are students.
Yeah.
It's just
It's remarkable.
It is, and the value that you get
Yeah.
for that is incredible.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say before. The bang for the buck there just blows me away. So, have you learned to bake bread?
I think it was the 19th or 20th of June was my final day of bread class.
Oh, is that right?
So it was the very last class I took.
Wow. That's
baking
just
program.
recently?
Yes,
Wow.
just a couple of weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Like I said, the instructors, they want you to, they give you every opportunity to learn. And like I said, by getting involved in, like, we'll call it bread club to make bread for the farmers market, or the people that, dedicate their time and effort into preparing and making the barbecue, it all goes to support, like those trips you just mentioned a little bit ago about to Italy,
Right.
to France.
Mm-hmm.
They actually had a baking and pastry tour that went to Vienna, Austria in
Nice.
December.
Wow. Did you get a chance to go on any trips?
I did. I went to Paris and I went to Italy.
So you go from somebody that was in their mid-20s that I asked you, would you have considered yourself a foodie then, to working in a Michelin 3-star restaurant, and now back just finishing the bread course at the Culinary Institute. What a mission. It's incredible. Do you have favorite restaurants in the area?
There's a new restaurant on the north side of town. Can I say the name of the restaurant?
Yeah, wish you would.
Anyways, it's called the Imperfecto.
Don't know it?
So it's new. It's right up by Grand Strand Hospital. Imperfecto.
What style of food?
It's a high-end Mexican restaurant,
Interesting.
and the food there's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do you have a certain style of food that you gravitate towards that you like to eat?
Do I like to? I do like Italian food. I do like Mexican food.
Yeah. What is, I ask every chef that comes on, what is the one dish that you love that you'd be embarrassed to tell other chefs about? And just so you don't think I'm throwing you under the bus, I always give this disclaimer.
No.
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I love hamburger helper lasagna.
Oh, I see. One thing I love, either a crab boil or we had crab cakes as well.
Yeah.
But a nice crab chowder. Crab.
Yeah, but that's not
things.
embarrassing.
That's not
I get that.
embarrassing.
There's got to be some sort of slop you throw together.
Well, I love sloppy joes.
Do you make them yourself?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just grab a can of that stuff and throw it together. It depends how rush. But yeah, I love sloppy joes.
Oh, good. All right, I got you. That's cool. What's next for you after culinary school?
That's a good question. Plenty of time to figure it out. I'm not in a hurry. No.
Yeah. Would you ever consider opening a restaurant?
I would with the right person. I would have to have a component of a microbrew or something like that associated with it. So we had two things because I love beer and I love food.
That was Don Princiotto, born in Boston, studied computer science, finds his way into creating and instructing in voice recognition joins the Navy, does the same thing there, worked for a defense contractor. Then he's called to D.C., ends up being there for almost 2 decades, moves to Myrtle Beach with his family, decides he wants to learn how to make bread. So he contacts the International Culinary Academy here, decides not only to just take a baking class, he does the entire culinary program. He ends up interning while going to the Culinary Academy at a 3 Michelin Star restaurant in Virginia called the Inn at Little Washington, and then moves over and does the pastry program as well. Fascinating guy. For all you folks out there who think it's too late, it's never too late. Guy's 62 years old and he's still moving. He's going to be moving ahead for a long time. So when you think that, oh, it's too late, I'd love to learn how to cook, I'd love to be instructed by, other chefs and learn a whole bunch about pastry and the culinary arts, it's never too late. I got friends who call me, friends I grew up with. Some of them just want to talk about the old memories. And I just can't, I get tired of it. I want to create new ones. I want to hang around with guys like Don Princiotto. And don't forget also Carrie and Vicky of Sweet Girlz. And all 3 of my guests today had terrific suggestions for restaurants. Don was talking about Cantina Imperfecto restaurant in Myrtle Beach. And don't forget Vicky and Carrie Alvaro of Sweet Girlz fame. They mentioned Coast Pizzeria in Myrtle Beach, Taco Mundo in North Myrtle Beach, and Little Italy in Myrtle Beach. So quite a few restaurants for us to check out. Hope you enjoyed the show today. All of you private chefs out there, remember, the only difference between you and me, the private chef to the stars, I got a check at the end of the week. Folks, thanks for listening. We'll talk next week.